Eventually, all the carriages stopped in front of a building with a sign that read, "Welcome Office." A lady was standing outside the building and looking as if she was expecting them. She bowed to the woman in E's group in the first carriage. Queen approached the woman and seemed to give some directions. E was heading towards them. When he approached them, he asked, "What did you think of my city?" "This place is beautiful," Ha-Yun exclaimed. "Everyone looks so happy and friendly." E laughed after hearing her say that. "I'm glad that you have such a positive impression of this place. I tried to create it in a way that people would be able to live freely, in an environment that was not tainted by ugliness usually seen in cities." He looked at the girl that was in Ha-Yun's arms and asked, "Will the two of you like to live with one another?" Hearing E's question, Ha-Yun's face seemed to cloud over. The cheerfulness was lost and replaced by sorrow, like she had remembered something. She shook her head and said, "I'll need to return to the academy. I have duties that I must fulfill, and I have been gone for so long, though I am unsure for how long." E appeared to be saddened with hearing that she was planning on not staying in the city. "I may not know what is happening, but I hope you know that you can leave all that behind you. Here, in this city, you can start fresh. There are educational institutes in the city you could join if you do not wish to stop being a teacher." His eyes were filled with deep emotion as he tried to convince her. Though the tears in her eyes indicated her desire, Ha-Yun shook her head. "I am sorry, E. It would be best for you not to worry about me. Please, just stay inside of your city and forget about everything we talked about. I do not want to taint the moments we shared with reality." E gave a deep sigh and seemed to accept Ha-Yun's words. Though it seemed to give him great pain, he appeared to respect her wishes of wanting to return to her home. Trying to regain his composure, E looked at Relissa and Idrenus. "If the two of you would like to room together, just let the staff in the building know. They will be able to accommodate your wishes." He was about to turn and walk away when Idrenus asked, "E, would it be okay if we take care of the girl that Ha-Yun rescued? Seeing that she is from the place we came from, I do not think it would be right to leave her alone." E looked back at them and smiled, nodding his head. He motioned for the staff who was talking with Queen to approach him. Talking to the woman, he looked back at them and indicated towards Idrenus, the girl, and her. The woman nodded her head and proceeded to motion everyone to follow her inside. Relissa looked at Ha-Yun, who was watching E walking away from them. There was a single tear that rolled down her cheek. Not wanting to intervene in something she had no business in, she followed Idrenus and the girl. Brittany watched as her master walked away from the group of carriages, as those who were from the academic city and Prelantia. He had approached the woman who was his teacher and seemed to have a conversation which caused him great pain. Though he prided himself in keeping himself walled off from his emotions, she knew that he cared deeply for others. Though she was created by him, her master had never tried to force her into doing anything she wasn't comfortable with. Staring at that woman as she entered the building, she felt herself wanting to slice the woman in half. The woman obviously had things hidden from her master, but Brittany was well aware of a secret rendezvous with the Prince of the Lunar Empire. To make sure that her master was protected, Brittany had several of the maids infiltrate Academic City. With the maids' ability to teleport and superior abilities, like all of her master's creations, they were able to act as the perfect spies. They would all report to her and inform Brittany of Ha-Yun's movements, especially when she met with the prince. At first, Brittany was confused as to why Ha-Yun would meet with someone like the prince, but as time went on, she understood what was happening. This was something expected of humans to do, and was nothing for Brittany to concern herself with. It wasn't until Brittany started to recognize her master's behavior that she understood that the bond between Ha-Yoon and her master was not one she could support. Though she was against such a relationship from developing, Brittany felt that it wasn't in her place to tell her master what he could or couldn't do. It created a deep sense of conflict inside of her. The reason she didn't tell her master about what she knew about Ha-Yoon and the prince was that she felt Ha-Yoon herself didn't want anything to develop. If she even dares to try and manipulate my beloved master, I will make sure she suffers beyond anything she could even imagine. Brittany ground her teeth, causing some of her bloodlust to leak out. Brittany, you must control yourself, Queen urged after seeing what was happening. Hearing Queen's concerned voice, Brittany forced herself to calm down. Thank you, Queen. I just kept thinking about that woman manipulating Master, who seems to care a great deal for her. I understand your feelings. I, too, had my servants watch that woman. The way she acted the day I saw her, I had a feeling her fate would be intertwined with his, Queen confessed. You did not tell me of this? Brittany growled at Queen. Hearing the tone in Brittany's voice, Queen hissed, I am not required to report my actions to you. Though you may be Master's attendant, do not mistake the limit of your authority. Brittany pouted at Queen's chastising, peeved at being talked to in such a manner, but willing to admit that she was in the wrong. Seeing that Brittany understood her error, Queen tried to soothe her. Though you may think that this woman is a negative influence, I have observed that this may not be the case. My minions have kept me informed, and with their ability to sense the darkness within others, they tell me that she has begun to change. I sense that there is something other than what is obviously happening between her and the prince. Queen tilted her head, trying to understand the puzzle in front of her. Why should I care if something is going on between her and that prince? Brittany sneered at the comment. My interest is only with making sure that my master is happy. Queen stared flatly at Brittany. Just because I am trying to learn more about this woman does not mean that I do not care for our master. This woman is obviously someone that master enjoys being around. She sighed in frustration. You are not like this with Celestra. I do not understand your animosity for this woman. Celestra is different. I can tell that she is someone who will dedicate herself to my master. Her attention to his needs closely resembles our own, which makes her one of us. Brittany tried to deflect Queen's question. Queen looked deeply into Brittany's eyes and seemed to be searching for something. So that is the reason. What do you mean? Brittany appeared defensive, unsure what Queen was implying. You are unhappy that this woman has been with another man, a man that is not our master, and now may have interest in being with him. Queen grinned at finding the root of the issues. Feeling like she was being backed into a corner, Brittany lashed out. Why should I accept some woman like her? Hearing the arguing between Brittany and Queen, Anaklis and Neurasia headed towards them. What is the matter with you two? Anaklis asked them. You two are making a scene, behaving like children where everyone can see. She's the one that picked a fight with me. Brittany pointed her finger accusingly at Queen. Anaklis and Neurasia looked at Queen, signaling that they were curious as to what had happened. Brittany is worried that woman, Ha-Yoon, has interest in our master, and feels that someone who has been with other men does not deserve to be with him, Queen explained to the two of them. Pah! She's already causing trouble without even capturing our master's heart, Anaklis hissed. Sister, should I handle this matter? Neurasia asked. No, you will not handle this matter, Queen snapped her head towards Neurasia. I know what you have been doing to those who you think may gain our master's favor. This woman is someone who is dear to our master. Queen, you are behaving irrationally. She is just some human woman who has yet to ensnare our master. We should deal with this problem before it becomes something serious. I sense that her loyalties will always be conflicted between our master and another, and we cannot allow such a thing to happen. Anaclus looked menacingly at Queen. Would you be willing to gamble our master's fragile heart? I will not be maneuvered into such a loaded question. I feel that we should allow things to develop further before we leap towards a conclusion. Queen looked at each one of them to nail in her point. Brittany felt that Queen was wrong about this matter, but decided to hold off on fighting with her. She secretly glanced at the Jungle Sisters and saw that they were also looking back at her. They seemed to be in agreement with Brittany, which made her feel better. Though there would be no actions taken towards this woman, Brittany felt that it was better that she make sure that others felt the same way as her. You guys seem to be intensely discussing something. Her master's voice could be heard behind the sisters. The sisters jumped and moved aside for their master. They had been talking so heatedly that they didn't even notice that he was close to them. Master, we are all just talking about how you seem depressed, Anaclus soothingly said. She smoothly moved her body so it was behind his and wrapped her arms around his shoulders. We are just concerned that Master has been dealing with things without letting us know. She lowered her voice and talked into his ear. Master knows that I would do anything to help you relieve yourself. The master smiled sadly and stroked Anaclus's arm. I appreciate your concern. I have just been thinking about some things and did not mean to worry all of you. He sounded slightly guilty, which made Brittany want to rush over to him and embrace him until all the hurt left his body. Is there anything we could do to help? Horacia asked. The master appeared to debate about whether he should let them know about his thoughts before saying, I know that something is happening with Hayun, but I do not want to invade her privacy. He sighed. Even though I see her as a friend, a part of me feels a desire to make things better for her. Chuckling as if he said something funny, he said, These thoughts of mine seem so childish. I think I'll head back to the stronghold and just rest my head. Master, you're not childish. You just have a large heart, and I'm sure that Hayun would appreciate your thoughts about wanting to help her. I think a little nap would be perfect for you, and afterward you can have something to eat. Anaclus agreed with him. Let me accompany my precious master. She picked him up and carried him towards the stronghold. Anaclus, there is no need to carry me to my bed. I have the ability to do that myself. Her master tried to protest. Of course you do, master. I just want to feel master in my arms as long as possible, so please allow me this, she cooed as she slithered towards the stronghold. Brittany watched as he was taken away by Anaclus.